I'm D-Rex of Pyromaniac.com, and this is the Larry Fitzgerald 2010 Fantasy Outlook video. Larry Fitzgerald has lived up to the hype. Not many do. Not many wide receivers that go in the top 2 or 3 picks really pan out the way Larry Fitzgerald has. This guy's got all-world hands. He's been in 4 Pro Bowls. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. You know, the way that I think about him is at a user level, at a fan level. How can you not like this guy? I couldn't imagine any person that likes football, that likes fantasy football, that loves the NFL, loves college football, could not absolutely love this guy. He's just such a good dude, works hard, shows up big time on Sundays, and doesn't talk shit. He's just an awesome dude. On Twitter, you know, at Pyromaniac, we're huge Twitter people here. Check us out at Pyromaniac with a 1 instead of the I. But his Twitter account is literally, he's like Dalai Lama of fantasy football, of NFL players on Twitter. He's like the Dalai Lama of them all. Nothing but positive, you know, tweets. Always giving inspirational moments. I mean, just the things that, you know, I follow him obviously, and I feel like he makes me a better person on his tweets on a regular basis. Which, at the same time, when you think of someone like Chris Johnson, some of his tweets, I have no idea what's going on there. None. He is awesome. Had a 2,000 yard season, but might not be the brightest guy of all time. Larry Fitzgerald, on the other hand, just an awesome dude. Sharp, eloquent, humble. He's literally, he's the Dalai Lama. This guy is Zen. Larry Fitzgerald is Zen at the wide receiver position. You know, I'm reading this book right now, amazing book called Shaboomy by Trevanian, and it's an awesome book. If you like stuff by, you know, if you like stuff by Nelson DeMille, if you like Clancy, you're gonna really like this guy. It's really amazing stuff. But Shaboomy is the simple, subtle. It's reaching a place in your life where you have simple, subtle, unobstructed beauty, and that's just the way I feel about Larry Fitzgerald's game. He's just a perfect receiver. I love, you know, Andre Johnson and him. Just, it comes so easy to him. Last year he had a lot of lows in his career. Definitely, his yards last year was the least amount that he's put up since his rookie season, and that was at 1,092 yards. He had 97 catches, had 13 TDs, which was his best ever TD season. It tied him for first in TDs by wide receivers in 2009. But you know, he also had some other lows. You know, his yards after the catch, he ranked 52nd. Not very good. His targets were down. His long catch of the season was 34 yards, which was his lowest by 13 yards of his career. But he still put up 13 touchdowns, and his overall rank, he was 5th in the league with 187.2 wide receiver fantasy points with the basic scoring system. So if a down year is almost 100 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 13 TDs, shows you why this guy every season is a potential, you know, first round, early second round wide receiver. I mean, this guy's just a beast. His strength of schedule this year is versus the pass is 27th, so he's got a hard schedule in that regard. And also, it hurts that their rush schedule, strength of schedule based on the Pyro formula, is number 4. So it means they've got a really easy rush schedule. Beanie Wells is going to be a beast. That's going to hurt him. You know, obviously, Kurt Warner, Hall of Fame quarterback, the second most accurate quarterback in the history of the league, retired. He had great productivity with Kurt Warner running the show. Now he's got Leinart, who I think's better than most people do. But at the end of the day, he's no Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner really gets the ball in the right spot for you to be able to do what you need to do. You know, Leinart was slightly a Bolden guy. Their stats are pretty, you know, even, Fitzgerald and Bolden, when Leinart's throwing the ball, but he definitely seemed to like Bolden a little bit more. Bolden's gone now. Obviously, that's a very big thing with Larry Fitzgerald. That's the big question mark. Kurt Warner and Bolden being gone, how is he going to respond to that? I think he's going to do just fine. Now he's the undoubted number one target. He maybe was with Bolden, but Bolden's a stud. He's a great player. He takes those shorter, quick hit routes, and I bet you now they'll use Fitzgerald in some of those. Early Doucette is going to be the third or second stringer. Steve Breston had 1,000 yards 2 years ago, but Doucette was a third rounder out of LSU. The guy's awesome. Last year in the playoffs, he was actually the third stringer behind Bolden and Fitz, and in 2 games in the playoffs, he had 14 catches, 145 yards, and 2 TDs. So essentially, you know, 7 catches a game, 75 yards a game, and a touchdown a game. He's going to be fine. Bolden, they're going to miss a lot with him being gone, but he seemed to get hurt a lot and try and power through injuries. Not going to say that, you know, Breston or Doucette can't get injured, but they've still got a good deal. It all falls really on Beanie Wells being able to open up the passing game for Leinart, which I think can happen. You know, you saw Fitz 2 years ago and what he did in those playoffs. It was, you know, Super Bowl records, pretty remarkable stuff. I think after the season ended, he had 7 touchdowns in the postseason. They went to the Super Bowl. In that Super Bowl, that second half, he basically single-handedly, you know, brought him back into the game. They lost on the last play of the game, but Fitzgerald had, you know, that long touchdown break. I mean, he's just a beast. You know, you may be asking yourself why the hell D-Rex is wearing a pair of leather pilot gloves, and it's a great question. These are my grandfather's, and I love having them, and I don't get to wear them enough. I do drive around a little bit in them. I try and get my Andretti on, but really the reason why is because Fitzgerald's hands are just too friggin' good. The guy catches the ball with his hands better than anyone I think I've ever seen in the history of the league. My hands are not worthy, so I'm covering them up for this video. I apologize. I know it seems weird, but that's the way I feel about Fitzgerald. I'm not worthy. So Fitz works so hard in the off season. You know, right now, I guarantee you, I'm doing this video having a Guinness, relaxing on the lake, and I'm pretty sure he's probably doing push-ups or catching balls out of the lug machine. He's just an unbelievable specimen of work ethic. He does an off-season summer camp for wide receivers. Last year, Sidney Rice was there. He has Chris Carter is another one of the instructors and, you know, coaches and tutors at Fitz's camp. Sidney Rice there last year, had a pretty wicked season. Dwayne Bowe was with him this summer. We've got big expectations for him as well. The guy's always working to get his game better, and he's the kind of guy you want on your team. He's a wide receiver number 1. You know, there's a few guys that probably should go ahead of him. I'm not going to throw out rankings or anything here, but at the end of the day, you know, when you're taking a guy like Calvin Johnson over him, who we actually have ranked higher, Fitzgerald's done it. He's proven it. Calvin Johnson has had one good season. So never have a problem with Fitz as your number 1 wide receiver. Guy's unbelievable. I think that's where I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it right there. Guy gets 10 targets per game over his career. They try and get him the ball. When it gets the ball in his hand, he does something special. Larry Fitzgerald, how can you not like him? Thanks a lot for listening. D-Rex with Pyromaniac.com.